to you starting October 1 through October 8, 2023. Now
More Threads, a brand owned by a former teacher and Black American freedman, use their apparel and more to teach hidden truths and Black American history. More Threads will address the lack of knowledge and negative images in our community. Check out www.morethreads.com to purchase our apparel, read thought-provoking blogs, and more. Sign up to have raw conversations and wear clothing that acknowledges, celebrates, and honors our lineage at www.morethreads.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Cecil Global and African Diaspora News Channel presents the Ghana Luxury Property Tour. It will be a 8-day tour coming to you starting October 1 through October 8, 2023. Now, you enjoy a 5-star stay at a hotel, the finest properties in Ghana. You connect with industry professionals. You will also visit cultural landmarks, have a meet and greet with the team, and so much more. Make sure that you go to the description box below and hit that link just to sign up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you once again for joining us for a live stream. I wish I would have let y'all know about this a lot sooner, but I had a lot of things going on today that I had to do, very, very important things. But I do plan on starting to live stream a little bit more, having a more of a better schedule. Okay, we sound good. But I want to give everybody a hand clap for being here today. So, I want to take care of a few things. If you have not seen the interview with our brother Rock Newman, make sure you go to Rock Newman's channel on YouTube. Just type in Rock Newman, and it'll pop up on YouTube. And you can check out the interview that I did with brother Rock Newman. If not, you can go to our community tab. And I think that's the first one that you will see. You can just click that, watch the interview. But don't watch it right now, because we got a lot of things we got to cover today in this live stream. Second of all our channels. While you're on that community tab, make sure you go to the channel section, and it shows all of our channels, everything that we cover. If you like what you see here, of course, hey, you're here. The Black Congregation channel. Sometimes you guys have asked me, hey, did you cover a particular story? Well, I may have covered it on the Black Congregation and not this channel. So make sure you go over there. Now, Black Congregation channel is more so focused on the things that we're dealing with here in America. This one that you're seeing now is more so focused on the international, global, African diaspora. So that's why, every channel has its own theme. Of course, the podcast channel is what that is. You'll see that there. My Lume's Exodus is my new travel channel. That's a lot different. Of course, the Phillip Scott show is, if you've seen that one, we engage a lot of things that people probably don't like me to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I believe in the traditional family and what works, and all this modern crap do not work. So make sure you subscribe to all our channels. That way you are in the know. Now, the Ghana trip, let's talk about that. That's supposed to be coming up October 1 through, I think, 7 or 8. It's pinned on the live chat tab right there. We have, what I just was informed, 9 spots left. Make sure you get on that. I'm getting messages from some of you on LinkedIn, and you're telling me about, hey, the information, XYZ, or some of you emailing me about it. Make sure you go to that link, because once it's gone, it's gone. Few of y'all have asked me over the years, when you going to Ghana, Ghana, okay, now we're doing it. So we want to make sure that you take advantage of that, because these trips are for you, not for me. So when you do not show an interest, that's when we just done with it. But so far you have shown an interest. All the tours have been completely, so far all of them have been, done for, sold out. You ever want a word you want to use. So we got 9 spots left. Take advantage of them today. Some people getting income tax, so use Uncle Sam's money to take the particular trip. Our trips are what they are. If you want a trip that's going to be, I guess, a certain way, then hey, you probably want to take those trips. I believe that when you take a trip, you need to have the best hotels, the best accommodations, the best of the best. I don't think you should be traveling way overseas anywhere and then have an equivalent to a Motel 6. Sorry, I just don't believe in that kind of travel, and I will not even do that to you. I will not. Excuse me. So take advantage, and there's plenty of you brothers and sisters that will do that. Today, we want to talk about today, as you look and see the title, the 7 ways white supremacists. And now I'm just messing up my own title here. Just give me a quick second. I got to get back to my own channel here. Give me 2 seconds. I got myself thrown off here. Hold on, and we'll be back here in a minute. Got to go back to my own channel. All right, 7 ways white supremacists use reverse psychology to gaslight black Americans. This is very insidious that the white supremacists like to do to black people, and also people throughout the world, but they particularly like to use this tactic on us, and we don't really understand what gaslighting is when we see forms of it, and also when it comes to us, like, what do we say for them to start trying to gaslight us? You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you would like to talk in the live chat, that is as of 2023, we have started to make that a members only chat, just as an exclusive to them. So if you would like to chat, now you can send a super chat. That's always the same. I'll see it, I'll read it, I acknowledge it. But if you want to just talk the whole time, then you have to join our YouTube channel memberships to talk on it. Now, some people say, I don't agree with that. Well, we've cut down on a lot of trolling that way, and that's a beautiful thing. So let's get to the meat of what we got to talk about today. Let's get to that. And I look down from time to time in the middle of my teaching that we're going to do here and try to educate the people. So let's get back on my main screen here. All right. So gaslighting, because I know you heard that term gaslighting before. You say, oh, don't gaslight me, gaslighting. And sometimes people throw out terms, and unfortunately people don't research it, but we'll talk about it here. Okay, so gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which the abuser attempts to sow self-doubt and confusion in their victim's mind. Typically, gaslighters are seeking to gain power and control over the other person by distorting reality and forcing them to question their own judgment and intuition. So that is the textbook definition of gaslighting. Now, we know the white supremacists are the kings and queens of gaslighting. They live their life off of gaslighting black people. And what I'm trying to do is to empower you when you see it, how to combat it, or even to sniff it out the moment they speak to you. Anytime that you bring up anything that we normally talk about, they're going to gaslight immediately. Because remember, they say gaslighting is about trying to gain power and control over you. And that is the mind of the white supremacist. Now, let's give you some examples of, gaslighting. That's just some classic examples. Okay. Lying about or denying something and refusing to admit the lie, even when you show them proof. So how many times have we talked about things and they lie about it? They deny, things like slavery. Oh, slavery wasn't that bad, right? Then you show them the proof of that. They refuse to admit it, even if you show them. That's why I always tell you, if they breathe in their line, I tell you that because I've learned that over the years. Another instance, insisting that an event or behavior you witnessed never happened and that you are remembering it wrong. For example, you watch a police video, you watching the police sitting up there shoot somebody 17 times. And they will tell you, well, do you sure that's what you saw? What happened before the video happened? How do we know? You don't know why the police did that. You know what I'm saying? They live their life on gaslighting black people because it's all about abuse and power and keeping you in a victimized state in which black people have been victimized for hundreds and hundreds of years. Another instance, telling you that you're overreacting when you call them out. You call them out by their racism and white supremacy, and then they tell you you're overreacting. When you're calling out a Karen, they tell you you're overreacting. It's always overreacting when it comes to them. Another one just wanted to cover before we get to the meat of this, twisting the story to minimize their abusive behavior. Now, you see something, you report something, you say something about what they're doing, and they try to minimize it. Like, it's not what you think it is. It's not this and that. It wasn't that bad. Nobody really got harmed. Another one, before we get into the rest of what we want to talk about, minimizing their hurtful behaviors or words by saying something like, wait for it, it was just a joke. And how many times I've told you that the white supremacists are the kings and queens of jokes. Everything they do is a joke, remember? Or they may tell you you're way too sensitive about what they done to you or what they said to you. So they call you the N-word and it was just a joke. Or you're being way too sensitive. Hey, Easy-E has said it. Like, why are you being so overly sensitive about that? I mean, you guys say it all the time. You know what I'm saying? So let me check something real quick. So now we have a basis, kind of like what we're going to talk about here. Just kind of checking in. And now let's get to what we really want to talk about on here. So let's go ahead and back this up. All right. So now we understand what gaslighting is. We know how the white supremacists use gaslighting as a tactic, an abusive tactic, as psychological manipulation on black people or anybody that kind of engaged in really on a daily basis, right? Remember, it's about power and control and to make you feel like you have doubt on what you saw or what you experienced. Another way they try to do is make you feel like you're crazy. You understand what I'm saying? So let's go through these 7 instances that how they gaslight black Americans. Because I've been seeing this a lot lately, and what inspired me to do this is I've been noticing the white supremacist tactic, how they've been telling black people, of all people, well, black people, you're the real racist. Black people are racist. Black people have no power and they have no system that they built on the color of their skin. Black people has no ability to punish anybody because they want to based on their skin color. Black people do not control anything in America based on skin tone. Black people haven't enslaved anybody, nowhere in the world. Black people didn't have a black codes, or they didn't have a white codes, right? They didn't have a Jim Crow system for white people. Black people wasn't bombing their churches. Black people wasn't running them out of their towns. Black people wasn't making white soup. And what I mean by that, black people wasn't deleting white people, chopping their bodies up and actually eating them. They were doing that. That wasn't, I mean, if you say we're the real racists, then we got to take on your history. We got to take on who you were and who you are still to this day. So if you let them play this game with you and tell you you're the real racist, once again, that is a evil form of gaslighting they're doing to you. And if you, as a black person, even try to engage them in giving them attention, if you're trying to sit up here and say, no, I'm not like that. I'm just saying, they got you. They got you. They got you. Listen, the white supremacists are energy vampires. You hear me? They got to feed on the energy of black people, and they feed on the pain of black people. You have to understand, only Satan himself feed on the pain of anything. That is not God or godly to feed on the pain of anybody. But you have to understand the white supremacist has made a covenant with Satan. And in that covenant with Satan, you and I are the target because we are God's people. We always have been God's people. What was a telltale sign that we are God's people? when the people who are hated without a cause. Think about it. All these different nations got an issue with black folk. What do we do to them? Not a thing. If you ask them, what do we do to your nation? What do we do to your people? They cannot say what we done. They have to come up with some old sorry cockamamie crap. Oh, I don't like them because they're lazy. Laziness has nothing to do with you. That's an individual thing. Who cares if somebody's lazy? I don't. You know how I feel about lazy people? Good. That's just one person I don't have to compete with. Awesome. They're out of my way. Oh, I don't like them because they commit crime. You commit more crime everywhere you go. And crime is in every nation. Period. So no, that's not an excuse. You're trying to make up something because you don't want to admit that. Say, listen, I don't even really know why I can't stand these people. I've just been told from birth that I must have this immense hatred toward this group of people. And I must stay away from them. But the thing is, I don't like them, but I can't stay away from them. You know what I'm saying? But let's go. So number one, first way let me go ahead and check something real quick. I don't want to get too out of line here. All right. Number one, when you speak about racism or personal experiences with racism, how they try to gaslight you is, are you sure that was racism? Oh, that person, they were just ignorant. They wasn't racist. How do you know they were being racist? Let me tell you something. You as a black person are the experts on racism. You are the experts on white supremacy. You have been in the class for more than 400 to 500 years. Only you can determine what is white supremacy and racism, and the perpetrator of the white supremacy and racism cannot tell you to gauge how you being treated. That's like a bully telling a person that they're bullying that, oh, well, when I punch you, that don't hurt you, and they not taking the lick, they giving the lick. Don't you ever let them come and try to gaslight you and tell you about your experiences with racism and with their white supremacy. I'm a firm believer of putting a white supremacist in his or her place. And because I believe in that, and because I know the white supremacist like the back of my hand, nothing he says or she says surprises me. They don't really approach me in certain ways that maybe they approach some of you. Understand what I'm saying? Or they're black white supremacist co-hosts, because they have some black people who are white supremacists themselves. You understand? An example of that would be Stephen from Django Unchained, right? Stephen was more of a white supremacist than Calvin Candy was. So a lot of times we don't address those black people. Now let's get to the second one we want to talk about here. When you acknowledge that you're a victim of white supremacy, how do they gaslight you there? You're not a victim. How are you a victim of white supremacy? Phil, you're not a victim. You do very good for yourself. I mean, I know you do good. You have all these people working with you, and I see you going to countries. I see you do this and that. How are you a victim? I am a victim of white supremacy. I acknowledge I'm a victim of white supremacy because at any moment I can be a hashtag. At any moment, white supremacy, as long as I'm in Babylon, they can take everything I have from me based on the color of my skin, not because I did them anything. My people are victimized. I am no higher than my people. So if my people are victims of white supremacy, I am a victim. It don't matter if I get $100 million in the bank tomorrow. I'm still a victim of white supremacy. I just got $100 million in the bank. Prime example, you look at when people like Trump and all the rest of them, look at all the things they got to do to Trump to even get him to that point where he at, in which I don't see that case really going somewhere. I'd be shocked if anything happened with that, right? All the nefarious things that people like him and other millionaires and billionaires have done. But Kanye West says something that, of course, people may not agree with, and people, has a right to speak up against that, but they looked at how all his money they took like that. when people like Donald Trump say certain things, nobody takes his money. Nobody touches his money. And he's talked about everybody. But when Kanye say something that people don't like, they take his money and everything, reduce his status all the way down. So it don't matter if you got money. You are a victim of white supremacy as long as you in this country. And one thing the white supremacists can't stand is when you tell them, yes, my people are victimized, because that truth stings them. You have to understand, everything that the white supremacists have done to me and you, it's a guilt weighing on their conscience. You understand? And they don't want to make it right, but they are tortured when they hear us speak about the reality of what they've done to us. This is why they like a black immigrant over a black American. Why is that? Because the black immigrant don't have this particular story, because their people was enslaved. Let's say you're from the Caribbean. Their people was enslaved by someone else, not these people. You understand? Or if you're an African immigrant, you dealt with colonization, but it wasn't these people over here. So they like them because they don't want to constantly hear about what they done. They don't want to know that they have victimized black people in every single way. They have victimized black people from doing for ourselves. And we always want to do for ourselves, right? After Reconstruction, black people did for ourselves. Who went in there trying to destroy everything? The white supremacists. They were victims of white supremacy. Black people getting put in the convict leasing program were victims of white supremacy. All our great civil rights leaders that died and went to jail were victims of white supremacy. People like J. Edgar Hoover weaponizing the federal government just because black people want to be treated equally made them victims of white supremacy. Black women are victims of white supremacy when they are in danger from having babies in this country. I covered a story on the Black Congregation channel where a nurse who is white said that America is the most dangerous place for a black woman to have a child. And that came from a white woman. Black women are victims of white supremacy. Black men are victims. Black children are victims of white supremacy. And they don't want to hear that. Now, of course, you're going to have some silly bootlicking raccoon Negroes that want to side with white supremacy. Say, I'm not a victim. You're not a victim. Really? Well, didn't the other day Candace Owens was crying about somebody didn't want to do no interior design in her house, and she was crying about racism? I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on, Candace. I know good and well you're not out here talking about racism, but she felt she's a victim. And what was the conservatives telling her about that one? I'm just curious about that. So, yes, you are a victim of white supremacy. It don't matter what they say. You are a victim until you're made whole. How are you made whole? Reparations. You want to do what's right by black folk? Make it right. Reparations in the form of cash payments is a good start. Now, they will tell you you don't deserve no reparations. Why we don't deserve reparations? Well, you didn't go through any slavery. Yes, my people went through slavery. We're still dealing with slavery now. The 13th Amendment allows slavery. The mass incarceration is slavery. How is it that black people are, I think 14 to 15% of the population, but you got the majority of the prisoners are black? That's done by design. And how many black men you see getting out of jail, serving 20 years, 30 years for crimes they didn't commit? On exonerations, black men and women lead in exonerations because they were victims of white supremacy. Don't let these people tell you you're not a victim. The victimizer is telling the victim that they're not a victim. If a man had violated a woman and she's talking about that experience, and how would we think about that if the violator tells the woman that he violated she's not a victim? We will say, what? People will be pissed. They say, how in the hell are you going to tell that woman that? You did that to her. It's the same thing. We got to view that in the same manner. If these white supremacists telling you that you're not a victim and they the victimizer, we should be pissed. Now let's continue. I'm gonna check real quick what we got down here for the people. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, where we at? We about 30 minutes in. Good. Let's go to number 3 here. When you speak about what white supremacy done to us in history or present day. Now, you see, as of today, you want to talk about what actually happened in this country to black people. How's the white supremacist responding? He's trying to burn the books. He's trying to hit the delete button on all the hard drives. He's trying to scrub the hard drives. He don't want it in the libraries. He's doing everything he can to try to erase his history of what he's done to black people. Then you say, hey, why are you doing that? Oh, well, if we talk about that history, it's going to make my children feel bad. What? Hold on. What you done to us, you worrying about your children feeling bad? What about our children hearing about it? You would have had a better argument if you'd have said, you know what? This history may make black children feel bad and black children this. That's how remedial you are. You don't even know how to even do something nefarious and make it where you're selling it right. I mean, you literally expose your hand on everything you do. It's like quite funny to me. And yet you're the ones that have been running the world? How? That's why you depend on immigrants and all these other groups of people outside yourself, because you really can't run a society without nobody else, especially without black folk. You have never ran anything without black folk, at least this group here. You've never done it. But they want to erase the history, try to tell you, well, slavery wasn't that bad. Well, people are embellishing about slavery. You sure slavery was like that? Oh, they don't know. The researchers say this and this and that. No, it wasn't like that. Trying to make you crazy about our history. Listen, let me tell you something. They know what they done to us more than what we know. Don't let them play dumb with you. Don't let them make you feel like, man, we need to educate them. That's the biggest con they ever pulled on black people. Well, we need to educate them. They know what they done to us. They know what they great-great-grandpappy and grandmammy done. They know. They know that their grandmammy lied on a little black boy in 1930 and lied and caused a little 10-year-old black boy to be strung up. And it was a lie the whole time. They know their grandpappy was in a mob of white supremacist demonic violators. They was out there roaming around every weekend seeking to mass violate black women and girls. They know this. They know where the bodies are buried. They know. They know the torture houses they used to take black people to and torture. They know this. Don't let them sit up here and make you feel like they don't know and you need to educate them. Why we always got to do everything for you? Let's say genuinely they didn't know. Let's say if they just really didn't know. Why we got to educate you? You can't go educate yourself? The victim got to educate the children of the victimizer. What kind of crap is that? Now, I don't mind educating a brother or sister that come here from a different country and they want to know because it's not their history and they want to learn. I'm okay with educating them. But I'm not for sitting up here educating people who victimize. And you really want me to educate you like that? You want a private session where I'm educating you? I will actually come and educate you. You host a space, but I need about $5,000 each person. I need a minimum of 100 people there, and I'll come educate you. Because if I'm gonna do it, I need to get paid for my time. See, black people are not gonna say what I say to you. I'm gonna tell you, I don't get no virtue out of educating you. I get virtue out of educating black people, because some black people just don't even know, unfortunately. So we go through a lot of things here in America, and sometimes black people just get so tired. I mean, we get tired. We get tired. So because we're tired and we just want some sort of peace, we want some sort of rest. We just want to be somewhere where we don't feel like we always in a battle, right? So Black people will say, you know what? We need our own safe spaces. We need a place where we can go with other people and talk, break bread, have conversation. Maybe, maybe some of the conversation can bring some healing, to us and what we have dealt with, from the past all the way up to present day. We can talk about our traumas. We can talk about all the different things we deal with in the white supremacist system. So we need the safe space for Black people to do so. Or Black people say, we need to buy some land. And we need to buy some land and we need to build some homes, for ourselves. We pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps, right? Well, we need to build some schools for our children on that land that we buy, legally and lawfully, of course. We need to, put up some grocery stores. We need to, make a farm. We need to do all these things for ourselves, right? Because we don't want to depend on nobody. We want to do for self. The white supremacists will come in and say, why y'all want segregation? And you're like, huh? Yeah, we got rid of segregation and you guys want to segregate. You guys want it back. Listen to that statement. We got rid of segregation. You didn't get rid of nothing. Black people put foot to pavement and foot to your butt in many of these cities and tore your cities up to make you stop. You didn't give us a freaking thing. Everything that Black folks got, they had to put foot to pavement and foot to your butt to get it. And we did not go to nobody's election to get it. So stop. This con that Black people are on now with this Democrat Party con that, we just gonna just vote and that's why we ain't got nowhere. That's why we are always going down. We can't get together on nothing. Because we depended on them to give us everything. And as long as we depended on Massa, on the plantation to give us something, he will keep us right there on the plantation in the position that he wants us in. But they tell you just because you want your own safe space somewhere for your community, but this is the crazy part. He don't care if the Arab have his safe space. He don't care if Hispanics have their safe space. He don't care about Chinatown, Little Korea, Little Saigon. He don't care about that. He only care if you want Harriet Tubman Estates. He only care if you want Malcolm X subdivision. He only care when you want Sojourner Truth Elementary School. That's when he cares. And you like, what? Why are you so obsessed with us? You don't go tell the Asians that. You don't go tell the Arabs. You don't go tell the East Indians. You don't tell nobody that. That's go in their little corner and have they safe spaces, right? You don't even want to bother them. You leave them alone. Hell, you even incentivize them locally in politics for them to build their stuff. You will sit up there and give them money to put street signs up in Mandarin and English, or Vietnamese and English, or Arabic and English in their areas. You take our tax dollars to do it. But if we want something, we want segregation? Like gaslighting and just straight demonic. This is why I have said before, Black people in America can never truly have a safe space. The only safe space that I have determined that I can have, and I'm cool with it, is in the continent of Africa. That's the only place I can have a safe space. Here, no matter where we go, we could be doing our own thing. We could be having fun doing something. And listen, we doing our thing. We're not bothering nobody. We're not asking nothing for nobody. We're not committing a crime. We're not doing nothing wrong. What happens, brothers and sisters? One or two show up. Now, I'm not saying we got a problem with somebody showing up, but this is the problem that we have seen. One or two show up and they on a recon mission to see what we're doing. They'll treat you so nice. Oh, they'll be nice to you. They would not be mean. They would not be ugly and everything. But they're on a recon mission to find out what we got going on, what we're doing, and see how they could come in and cause dissension with black folks and cause us to bust up our own stuff. And now we're not doing it anymore. You understand? Because some of them hear me say things. They say, oh, well, see how he feels about us? No. I don't, trust me. I have no ill intention toward any group of people. I don't have the time, to be honest with you. If you treat me nice, anybody who's met me, and I've met people of all communities in the years I've been doing this, most of the people that meet me, they have treated me nice. I'm gonna say all, I can't even say most, all. They treated me nice. They have been respectful of all communities. So it's not even that. But the fact is, when black people say they want their own safe spaces, and you feel a need to, oh, I'm going to go over there and get in the middle of their situation. But you're not trying to go over to Chinatown and get in the middle of theirs. That's what we're talking about. It's a weird obsession with the black man and black woman of America. I say this much. The one thing, and I'm going to openly admit this. The one thing that I hate the most about slavery and what happened to us in slavery is that we lost our African languages. We lost it. Because if they try to go over there with the different Asian groups, they can just start speaking their language. Now, I'm not to say they can't learn it, but the majority is not going to learn it. Let's call it what it is. Maybe a few will, but the majority won't. Or East Indians have their own language, even though the African brothers and sisters have their own languages. You know, you got some brothers and sisters in the Caribbean got their own language that they don't understand, and they can't stand it when they talk like their languages around them. When it comes to us, unfortunately, yes, we've done our own version of the English language. Yes, we have. But this is the thing. Even when we have our own slang or different variation of words, the bad part is we're teaching them. Do you see Chinese people teaching everybody Mandarin? No, you can learn it if you want, but they're not going to teach it to you. They're not going to tell you their nuances. They're not going to tell you their words. They're not going to tell you anything. No other group of people does that. But black folks, hey, what does that word mean? Oh, it means this. I'm like, only you do that. No other group does that. Only you. May, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. Now, let's get to the next one here. When you call out their hypocrisy, unfair treatment, or racial tropes. Clear case of that was that story with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. The Caitlin Clark can do something, it's fine, it's celebrated, but Angel Reese do it and it's a problem. And they have vitriol toward Angel Reese for the same exact thing. And they're demonizing Angel Reese, yet you literally see the video of them praising Caitlin Clark for the same freaking thing. That literally can make you have stress and go crazy of what they do to black people in this country. And the reason why I bring that up, because that's something that everybody kind of saw in real time throughout the world. You understand what I'm saying? When they treat you unfairly, unfair treatment is this. Also, you've been working at the job. You've been there 10 years. You don't be late. You're always doing your job. You went to school. You got your bachelor's degree and got your master's degree. You're making okay money. But then you look up and see one of their children come into the same job that you're doing. They say, yeah, you train, teach them the job, teach them the ropes, teach them X, Y, Z. You teaching them, and you look up in 6 months, the same one you taught is now over you. You got more experience, more education. You taught them, and they put them over you with no education. No education. And then if you bring it up and say, well, how you gonna give them this job over me? I've been here 10 years. I have a master's degree. I taught them. Oh, well, they just worked a little harder. What are you talking about? Work harder. Show me how they worked hard. Which they can't show you. So then they start pulling that, well, I'm them folks and that's what I say and that's how it's gonna go. Like to gaslight you and tell you you don't work hard. When you bust your butt every day that, oh, black people don't work hard. And this is why it's even more offensive. Now I'm gonna get to this other section. This is why it's even more offensive with people that look like us come into the country and say that same thing. Because ain't nobody work harder than black America. I'm a black American. I'll tell you what, nobody cannot work me in a lot of ways. Now, you can say, I work hard. Keep that working hard crap. I did that at one point in time in my life. I'm not doing that. You can do the work hard. I'm going to work smart. An older brother told me that at the age of 19. The best advice I ever gotten from an elder brother. He said, young man, you see what you're doing? You're working too hard. When you get my age, you're going to feel all that what you're doing. Young man, always learn to work smart. Don't work hard. Figure out a way to complete that job, what you're trying to do, with the minimum energy, and even get to the point that now you own the company and you really don't have to worry about it because it's somebody else that's doing it. And you make sure they work smart so you can keep them a lot longer so you don't break their back. See, that's some of the wisdom I'm getting in my community. You know what I'm saying? Black men and women have worked hard in the past and even today. Don't you let nobody come into this country or no white supremacist tell you don't work hard. If nobody, you can tell you who never worked hard a day in their life, the white supremacists. They don't know how it feels to work. That's why they want immigrants to keep coming in here. But they don't want to work. They complain on immigrants all day long about them coming in this country and all of that. Okay, well, stop the immigrants from coming in this country and you go out there and you do the jobs that the immigrants are doing. Because last time I checked, you don't want to do those jobs. I'm telling you, when I travel, I can really see who's doing what. And immigrants are doing certain kind of jobs. But yeah, they don't want to do them jobs. They don't want to do those service jobs. They don't want to go do the Uber Eats for the most part. They don't want to go drive taxis. Go in your big major cities. Look who's driving the taxis. It's sure not people that look like them. Go look at who's cleaning the streets. Go in the farms and see who's picking the strawberries, the grapes, and all the stuff that you see on your shelf in the grocery store. They're not picking that. They sure didn't build this country and say, we built America. No, you didn't. Show me where you built America. Biden, y'all president that y'all voted for, silly people. He just recently said the Irish, I think helped build the White House. Like, no, they didn't. Black men and women built the White House. Black men and women built the Capitol. Black men and women built Washington, D.C. Benjamin Banneker is the one that designed it. Lying, like constantly lying, and will tell you things and make you think you're crazy. The same thing with the police. We see police videos, a suspect in their community cussing the police out and everything. A black person just asks, well, what I'm being pulled over for? And they getting pulled out of their car and getting their butt beat. or getting shot 10 times for asking a question. You clearly see the treatment. It's not that it's nuanced and it's underlying or it's passive aggressive. It's more so in your face. And what I'm here to do is to educate the world on how Black America and white is treated and how white supremacy really works. And a lot of my African brothers and sisters definitely have been telling me, you know what, I've learned a lot. And when they come to my country, I'm side-eyeing them now. You say, because I see what they do. Before I didn't see it, but now I do. I say, good. I say, because when they come in your country, they be trying to get away with the most too. RY, that's your name. Thank you for joining our memberships. We greatly appreciate you, sir. All right. This is why I tell you when it comes to jobs, it is better, I'm telling you from experience, it is better to work for yourself. You're happier. You have less stress. Listen, I worked 21 years in the petrochemical industry. As I stated on that Rock Newman interview, if you can go back and check it. I just stopped working it, just last year actually. And it was by choice because I could have stopped working it since 2016. It was by choice based on some legal advice I was given at the time. But I'm telling you, I'm more happier to do things on my own. Everything has a time, everything has its purpose. But work for yourself, because these people will never respect you. They'll never treat you right. They'll never honor you. And I don't just think they deserve your talent, personally. They don't. They never appreciated it. Let's go to the next one here. When you accept that they can't stand us, which is proven by history and present day treatment. So when you have accepted, like let's use for me, I've accepted that the white supremacists don't like me, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. So the white supremacists say is this: oh, you hate white people because I've accepted how you feel about me. Now you trying to play this, being who you are, a white supremacist. I'm the one with the hate because I accepted who you are. Once again, they are the kings and queens of gaslighting. The way it really works, don't give them your energy. When they tell you that and you start responding or you start trying to give examples how you're not that way. Oh, well, I have people in my family. I have friends. No. The moment you give an explanation, you're literally giving your energy to these people. They are energy vampires. They love to feed on your godly energy that's within you. Don't answer them. Don't entertain them. Don't even respond to them. Let me give you something else. Well, let's do a debate. I would like to debate you on your ideals about, you say about racism. No. I've learned you don't do that because, once again, it is them sucking the energy from you. I am not going to waste my time talking to a white supremacist about anything. If you want to talk to me, pay reparations. Treat my people right. Treat my people no different than you treat the Asian, that you treat the Arab, that you treat the Hispanic people, that you treat whoever. Let us go in our own area and just leave us alone. Treat us the same way, and then maybe we can have a different conversation at that point. But until then, there's nothing to talk about. Martin tried to talk to you. Martin was advocating nonviolence. Martin just wanted to march. Martin wanted to pray. And what y'all did to Martin Luther King. That's the thing about that. How they celebrate Martin Luther King today is the biggest gaslight ever. When Martin Luther King was alive, they hated him. They hated that brother with a passion. They took his life. They did it. Took his life. And then the day, oh, well, hey, black people, you shouldn't be like that. You should be like Dr. King. See, Dr. King, he had a dream. Are you serious? You took out Dr. King away from his precious wife and children because you couldn't stand that he wanted his people treated right. Then you're using the same man that you put in the ground and weaponizing him against a black person calling you out. I'm telling you, the way they are with Dr. King and how they mention Dr. King is just the biggest gaslight ever. Like, y'all don't see that? I know you see it when I'm talking about. You're like, are you serious? Every time they mention Dr. King. Well, he had a dream. He said, don't judge people by the content, the color of their skin, but the content of their character. And you like, what are you talking about? Why did he say that originally? Why did he say it? And after you put him 6 feet under, you haven't changed nothing since the brother left the earth. You haven't changed anything. You're the same. If he came back today, he would still say the same thing to you because the system is still the same. It has not changed from when Dr. King was here versus today. Actually, it's worse in a lot of ways. We are still judged by the color of our skin and not the content of our character. Nothing has changed. The white supremacist is not progressive. I don't care if he calls himself a progressive, he's not progressive. The same way he felt about us in 1523, 1623, 1723, 1823, 1923, and 2023 has been the same. I will say the white supremacist is the most consistent. He's consistent. I give him that. He feels the same back then to now. I will give you that. But this using Dr. King to gaslight black folk, we got to call it out a little bit more often, black people. Don't let them use Dr. King to gaslight you. Don't do that, okay? Remember, gaslighting is a psychological manipulation tactic, okay? So when they're using Dr. King, because you speaking up, you calling stuff out, they'll say, well, you know what? You should tell him. Well, Dr. King said, you know what? Dr. King would be here to tell me what I'm in error, but y'all killed him. So he's not here to tell me now. What you kill him for? That way he'll be here to tell me what I'm doing right or wrong. Don't use the man that y'all was celebrating the death of that brother. Don't use that brother to tell me anything. And when you start talking like that, they like, but you're not lying when you say that. Don't use Dr. King on me. You got statues of Dr. King and all this stuff about Dr. King. Oh, it's a national holiday of Dr. King. And Dr. King's people still haven't got their check. Then Dr. King said, I'm coming to Washington and we're getting our check. We still haven't got our check. You gave us a holiday, but we didn't get our check. Just like, oh, we celebrate Juneteenth. That's a federal holiday, black people. Aren't you glad? No, we need to get our check. Like Dr. King said. Since we're bringing up Dr. King, let's get our check. That's what he said. He said everybody else was coming to this country, getting free land, getting set-asides, getting this and that and the third. Today, Ukraine getting billions of dollars like it ain't nothing. They don't have no act of Congress for it. They don't need no constitutional amendments for it. They don't need, during the time of the virus, look how much money just went out. Even fraudulently went out. Constantly. In the trillions. And they can deposit right into your bank account. So you want to honor Dr. King? Well, it's time to pay reparations. We need our checks, or we need our direct deposits, because we don't want to fool with no checks no more. We just need our direct deposits. Let's do that what Dr. King wanted, since we're going to bring up Dr. King. Now, let's continue here. Got one more little piece. I hope y'all enjoying the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are. Make sure you click the like button. You know, if you're not enjoying it, let me know, and I'll just go ahead on and just end this, and we'll work on something else behind the scenes. But if you're enjoying it, if you like more of it, just hit the subscribe button. It's very, very important. Join our memberships. That's important. Let's get to the last thing that we need to cover. Oh, we doing good time. When we gatekeep our culture and call out their appropriation. Now, we're starting to gatekeep our Black American culture. And we should have done that a long time ago. When we start to gatekeep our culture, the white supremacists say, hey, wait a minute. That's for everybody. No, it's not. It's for us. But you don't go tell Chinese people that certain aspects of their culture is for everybody. You don't go tell Arabs certain aspects of their culture is for everybody. You're going to tell Hispanics that certain aspects of their culture is for everybody when they tell you, hey, that's our culture. Respect it. But when it's Black people, you done taught everybody that our culture is just for everybody. And what we have been saying is saying, no, we need to gatekeep our culture. You can appreciate our culture, it's no problem. But you're not going to lay ownership to our Black American culture, and we're not going to let no one come in here, no matter who they are, and talk down on us. And maybe I need to do a whole live stream on the term culture, because I notice some people don't know what the term culture means. They don't know what it is, but yet, when some people try to come in and say we don't have a culture, I'm like, you let me know you don't know the definition. Now, if you're mentioning an African culture, or no, we don't speak Swahili. No. If we did, we lost it. We don't speak, Zulu or whatever. Let's say we did, we lost it. So we don't do that. But we do have a culture, what is the textbook definition of the word culture. And when we call out the white supremacist appropriation, they get upset by that. They say that, well, that kind of way of dressing just don't belong to Black people. It belongs to everybody. So you want to colonize our culture and try to make us feel bad for saying that. That, well, Black people, see, that's what I'm talking about, Black people. See, you're the real racist, because why are you so racist? Because you telling us that we can't do this or that. Nobody said that. Once again, you don't go tell Asian people anything, that they're racist for gatekeeping, but it only comes to us as Black people. And once again, it's comical for you to use the word racist toward Black people. It's comical because we don't have, as I stated earlier, Black Americans cannot be racist. And I'll repeat it again because I know it gets underneath your skin. Black Americans can't be racist. They can't. They never can, and they won't in this country. As long as you're running it, they're not going to be racist. They can't. Only you can be racist. Okay? I don't got to teach you a little bit. I'll do that. Now, can a Black person be bigoted? Sure. Can they be prejudiced? Sure. But then let's talk about the prejudice part. Most of the prejudice come from 500 years of experience. So usually they on the defense when they get to the prejudice part with Black people. Because I've been around Black people all over the world. Black people aren't bigoted. Black people aren't prejudiced globally. They're not. They're very loving. They're very welcoming. So if a Black person is being bigoted or prejudiced, then I'm going to start thinking like, what did you do? Because that's out of the norm for Black people to be that way. So once again, just laugh in their face when they tell you that. Or they go on the Twitter or whatever. You Black people, like, I won't even engage them. I don't waste my time. If they tell me anything like that, you know what I do? Block. Tell you, please utilize the block button. Do not give your energy to no white supremacists or anybody that's working for them, because we have some of all groups that work for them too now. So if they try to come there saying things, block them. Block them, block them, block them, and block them again. They come back with another account, block them. If they try to make content to you, videos, they want your response. Do not respond. Let them talk all they want to talk. Just don't respond. Because you stay in a position of power when you don't respond. When you respond to their videos or whatever it may be, right? Now you're showing that what they said really meant something enough to you for you to take your time to make a response to them. If I'm going to talk about something, I'm going to talk about something or respond to something in my own community or something that's related to my community. They can say whatever they want to say. I don't even respond to even certain black folks that say things about me like, oh, okay, he can say it. She can say it. That's fine. It doesn't bother me none. Thanks for the free marketing that I didn't have to pay for. I appreciate it because I know human nature. You can make a video talking about me and it's fine. But people are going to do one of a few things. Either they're going to agree with you wholeheartedly what you said about me, or they're going to be curious because they didn't know who I was, research me, come over, find out what I got going on, love what I do, and now you actually helped me grow my platform and I didn't have to pay you for it. So I don't even get mad if you make a video about me. I really don't. I'm cool with it. But we got to learn that, folks. We got to learn that. So make sure if you didn't view the whole video in its entirety, make sure that you tell, hold on, one person say, Indigo Lotus Fist says, I tell them my fees for debate is $300 an hour. No, that's not enough. That is not enough. Nope. Not in my opinion. I'll say my fee is $17. No, I'm gonna say $20 trillion. That's my fee, $20 trillion. I'll say you give me $20 trillion, then let me go ahead on and disperse that to my people for reparations, because I don't want $20 trillion myself. I don't. No, I'm not selfish like that. Give me $20 trillion so I can get my. If you want to debate me, $20 trillion, I need that. In other words, you can't afford my time. You can't afford my time. I am a precious individual. I am a precious black man from a great stock of black people. You can't get my time like that. Not for free. I'm going to take the time that I do have, whatever the Lord say fit, and going to use that to help educate and help do what I must do in the earth for the community. No matter what somebody say about me, what they don't like about me, what they disagree about me, they're welcome to think it. What they think I shouldn't be doing, or whatever the case, whatever it is. They have a right to feel that way. But what I'm doing and my mission is not governed by those people, my detractors, whatever they may say. My mission is governed by the Lord. And I am commissioned to go out, not only here, but throughout the world and reach the community. That's what I'm commissioned to do. I may not be the guy you like. You may not like my vernacular. You may not even like the way I look, and that's great. That's fine. Listen, as long as my wife likes the way I look and I'm good, trust me, I'm not looking for nobody. But I got to complete my mission. I got to help educate, to equip the next generation. That's what I got to do. Now, let me. He said, well, you say, yeah, you say you need to get your rates up. Yeah, get your rates up. In other words, they can't afford that. The reason why, it's just a waste of time. Like I told you, they energy vampires. They need your validation, black people. You understand that? They need your validation. Even you speaking to them, going back and forth with them is giving them a form of validation. See, their validation doesn't mean nothing to me. You understand? You see, for some black folks out there, Boulay Martin for one, he feels validated if he goes on a Breakfast Club. He feels validated if he goes on MSNBC. Just to give an example. He's one of many in the community. You know how I feel validated? When I go on Newsroom Africa, or I'm on K24 in Kenya, Look Up TV when I went there in Kenya. I feel more validation on black platforms, not theirs, because I want to be in position to talk to the community. If I was going to network in the Caribbean, I feel validation doing that. So you better believe I'm going to put on my best foot forward, represent the community the best way I can, and just do what I have to do. It's nothing trust me. I've been on in travels and I say, look, you know what? The day gonna come where I'm gonna have my own TV channel. I'm not trying to have a TV channel in America. I want my TV channel on DSTV in the continent of Africa. That's what I want. I don't care about no American TV. Don't care. We're gonna get ourselves to the point we're doing a 24-hour show and we're gonna be on DSTV. We're not going to be on no American. I don't care about their networks. I'd rather go reach the billions of people over there. It lets you know what my mind is at. I'm not even thinking about them. Try to get on their networks for what? It is their TV, it's their media, it's white supremacy. I'm not playing the game with them. And that's why they don't really mess with me or invite me to nothing either. Because a little bit more because now I'm going to tell them how I really think more than what I do now. Oh, man. Okay, BlackRock says they once asked their next door neighbor a serious, common, non-offensive question on his race, and he practically ran into the house. From that point, I was done with him. Yeah. But no, in the continent of Africa, okay, what's going on here? In the continent of Africa, they still watch TV in some instances, and that's fine. Like I said, I do something on DSTV. I don't do nothing here. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the broadcast, tonight. Make sure that we'll make sure to put that in there. 9 spots left, 999, for the Ghana trip in October. That's coming up pretty fast. I would say go see it yourself. Don't listen to other people here in America that's trying to tell you multiple things. See things for yourself. You don't like it? Okay, at least you went. I think it's sad if you never left your city, never left your state, or even never left America. How you live a whole life and never seen nothing else but the 4 walls of your house or the perimeter of your city. How? I don't get that. That's not a life to live. So take your family, take your kids. Trust me, I took my kids. And my kids, they love it, and it changes lives. Take your kids, and that way they can say, I've been to this city. Oh, I've been there. I ate that kind of food. I seen this kind of animal. I did this. I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like my little 8-year-old was petting a seal. Like just the seal hanging out like a dog out there in Cape Town, right? Well, usually don't have that kind of experience. So take that trip. That's one a lot of people was asking for is Ghana, so take the trip. But anyway, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again, like I said, for joining us. And if you would like us to try to do more live streams, or you have certain topics that maybe we could take our time and break it down. We're trying to break down white supremacy the best way that we can explain it, so you can take this knowledge and equip yourself so when the white supremacists come your way, you know how to respond. That's the key, knowing how to respond. And once the white supremacists see that you are great at responding to them and you know how to cut them off before they even get there, they're going to be marveled at you. They're going to say what school you went to. They're going to ask you a whole lot of questions. And but don't tell them nothing, none of their business, right? So thank you for listening. We'll see you on the next one.